Hey guys, so no Siberia today. There's something I wanted to talk to you guys about. It is currently 8:30 in the morning and I haven't had my coffee yet. Let's see how this goes. So I've got something going on later and it's right in the middle of the day again, so I'm not gonna have the time to edit Siberia 3. Also, like I said, there's something I wanted to talk to you about, and also on the topic of Siberia 3, the last episode, the last play session of Siberia 3 will be happening next week, depending on what my work schedule is. You guys will know by tomorrow, Friday, the 21st of October. Holy cow, October's almost over. Speaking of October almost over, I am going to be doing a horror weekend stream on Halloween weekend. Be there. I am going to be playing Fatal Frame 5, Maiden of Black Water. This is one of my favorite horror game franchises, and I want you guys to be there to experience it with me if you haven't already. This is going to be a first-time playthrough of this game, and I think I heard something about it that's going to make me want to go back and play the original trilogy. I'm going to stream and record that too. Everything's going to end up on YouTube eventually, but if you want to catch it live, I'll be on Twitch, okay? So I wanted to talk to you guys about something in particular, and this in particular is the month of November. It sounds kind of lame when I say it like that, doesn't it? Oh my god, Parzival just walked across my light cord and almost knocked it over. November is National Novels Writers Month. Who makes those decisions? Like, I want to know. Like, do I have the power to make those kind of decisions? I think I can. I declare February to be Finn's month. Just because it starts with an F, same as my name. I don't want a whole month. I feel like having a month dedicated to something just kind of, like, how do I explain it? It takes away what it's celebrating. Kind of like, I don't, like Valentine's Day. I've told Bradley multiple times that if he gets me anything on Valentine's Day, I'm leaving him on the spot. Am I opposed to him getting me something to show me that he loves me? No. I don't mind him getting me flowers or like maybe a little teddy bear with a little heart that says I love you. Those things are cute. That's all well and good. But if he gives it to me on Valentine's Day, he's only doing it because everyone else is. If he's going to do it, he can do it on any other of the 364 days of the year. That was a tangent. Anyway. So November is National Novels Writers Month, NaNoWriMo for short. And during the month of November, there is an online community that has a challenge called the NaNoWriMo Challenge, or NaNo for short. Typically I call it Nano, so that's what I'm going to be saying throughout this video. The NaNoWriMo Challenge is a challenge to write a 50,000 word novel, or just 50,000 words in general, in the month of November, across the span of 30 days. Sounds kind of crazy, but if you actually do the math, I'm pretty sure 50,000 words in 30 days is only like 2,000 words a day. Isn't it? Yeah. So it doesn't sound too hard. And that is the exact attitude I had going into this. Before I get into that, I have done some writing in my past. It was nothing actually like spectacular or anything. I have tried some original ideas, but they've all fallen flat and I haven't been able to finish them. Most of my writing was fan fiction, and I would write all my fan fiction on a site called Wattpad. I've wrote fan fictions from How to Train Your Dragon to Code Lyoko to, there was some Undertale in there. They were very short Undertale ones because it was hard to write for Undertale. My How to Train Your Dragon fanfiction, I completely rewrote the movie of How to Train Your Dragon with a different character incorporated into it. I was only 16 by the time I finished it, so it wasn't my best work. But I was still extremely proud of it. It was a very long novel. It was over 80,000 words, I think. And I committed to it, and I saw it all the way through, and it took me years to finish it. Years of hard work, and it's still a sore subject, but I do want to talk about it. I think the more I talk about it, the more I'm getting it out, so that way I'm not gonna linger on it for too awful long. So my How to Train Your Dragon fanfiction has quite the story behind it. It was actually where I first started writing and where I found out that I actually like creative writing. It also, like, once it was complete, I developed a community on Wattpad, people who followed me asking for me to write How to Train Your Dragon 2 in the same perspective. They asked me, they they kept asking for like other pieces and stuff like that. And also, one of my favorite things is that when you went on Wattpad and searched How to Train Your Dragon fanfiction, mine was the first one that came up. Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. I think it was August. It was around August that I was on Wattpad. I was reading through my old work, because sometimes I do that. I don't really know why, but I'll go back and I'll read my old work. And I was doing that. And when I went to my page, it wasn't there. My How to Train Your Dragon fanfiction. And the first clue that tipped me off that something was off was when I went on Wattpad, I only had like 2 or 3 notifications. Typically that notification bubble says 99 plus because people are reading and storing and voting and commenting on that How to Train Your Dragon fanfiction. And it was almost always, I know that sounds extremely conceited, but like it's true, like it was always 99 plus. But that time I logged in, it wasn't. And the novel was just gone. So I went in and I looked into the notifications. The last notification I had gotten on How to Train Your Dragon was in April. And it was just a comment from somebody who liked it. That was it. But that was the last notification I got. It was months since the last time I got a notification about it. I wasn't making money on Wattpad either. Like, I think there is a way that you can, but I only write fan fiction and I don't want to claim other people's work or make money off of other people's work. Like, I was just doing it for fun and I wanted to share it because I had fun with it and other people were having fun with it. That was the only reason I shared it. But apparently, according to Wattpad, I was claiming it as my own. I was claiming to own How to Train Your Dragon, which is originally, the books are originally by Cressida Cowell, and then the movies are owned by DreamWorks. And like I said, without any sort of heads up, they just took it away from me. I dug around and I was seeing, because Wattpad has derped out on me before and I've lost some of my writing and then I logged out and logged back in and it was there. So I tried that, I did some digging, I tried to see if I could bring it back and nothing was working. So that was when I finally contacted somebody on Wattpad. I was like, why is it gone? Why, like, just, like, tell me. I just wanted to know if it was on my end or if it was them. And I wasn't exactly happy to find out that it was on their end. Like I said, apparently according to them that I was claiming to own How to Train Your Dragon by posting a fanfiction online. Like, people make comics about Undertale all the time and post them online. People, like, if somebody's making money off of it, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I don't want to take any money from DreamWorks that should be earned for How to Train Your Dragon. I don't know. But they responded telling me that it was a copyright strike. I don't know if somebody decided to finally report it or something like that, or maybe the copyright that I had labeled on the fanfiction was the wrong copyright and I actually was claiming to own it. I don't know. I was a kid when I finished it. I just wanted to share it with people because I was proud of my work. I was happy with what I did, and so they took it away without notification, and, you know, the email was topped off with, you agreed to our terms and services, blah, 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 and so I don't think I could have had an argument in this. I did my makeup this morning, but I didn't do a lot because I knew this was going to happen. So, like, I didn't think I could argue over email with them or anything, so I just did a little bit more research into the copyright part of Wattpad, and the last thing I remember reading, it said these decisions are final. See, this is why I, like, want to talk about it. Like, I still can't think or talk about it without it hurting this much. I was a kid when I wrote it. It wasn't perfect, but it was mine, and I put in a lot of work into it. And that's what hurts. And I actually canceled my stream the next day. I was so depressed about this. I was posting on Facebook about it, and I had a friend on Facebook who was trying to be extremely helpful. And I'm really grateful that, because it was a really long post, I was like venting it all out, and this friend of mine apparently read the whole thing, and they sent me a link to the Wayback Machine that's online. The Wayback Machine, you can plug in a web address and then you can take it back in time and see what it looked like 10 years ago. No joke. Go to the Google the Wayback Machine. I don't know if you can Google it and it'll come up, but if you know how to get your hands on the Wayback Machine, go to the Wayback Machine, plug in YouTube, and go back 10 years. It's a completely different website. Well, the Wayback Machine has certain websites that are compatible with it, or something along those lines. And unfortunately, Wattpad was one of them that were incompatible. And that day, until now and forever, my How to Train Your Dragon fanfiction is just gone. All of my hard work. I worked on it in high school too, so I mean, I was in school full time and working on this, and I finished it, I think, across the span of just a few years. And then it was gone. Just taken away from me. It may be gone, but I do remember it in a way, and I'm not gonna rewrite it, unfortunately. Like, I don't think I could, but that fanfiction will always be special to me because it was where I started creative writing and where I discovered fanfiction, and here I am now. I still adore writing, and that's actually kind of why I got into animation too. It's like I kind of want to see some of this stuff come to life. Writing and animation, it's a wonderful combination, isn't it? So that was back when I was like 16. That was almost 10... Oh wait, it was over 10 years ago. Millennial crisis, give me a second. So I've been writing fan fiction ever since then, and like I said, I've tried some originals, but they fell flat. And then I was introduced to the NaNoWriMo challenge. The first time I was introduced to Nano, I think, was 2016. I tried my hand at it. I think I got about 10,000 words into it, and I gave up. Not my finest moment. But then something happened last year, and I thought it was 2 years ago, oddly. Time is so gone to me that I thought it was 2 years ago, but apparently it was just last year, 2021, something resurfaced NaNoWriMo, and I decided to give it another shot. I was writing a fanfiction at the time, and I was about halfway through it, and the halfway point was it was over 50,000 words. So I was like, alright, the other half should make up 50,000 words. Let's do it. And like I said, if you do the math, about 2,000 words a day is over 50,000 words. So I went into this thinking this was gonna be a piece of cake, 2,000 words a day. It's a fan fiction. I've got source material I can work with. Oh no, NaNoWriMo is hard. Okay, for one, if you're working full time or in school full time, you don't have all the time in the world to write 2,000 words a day. I was off to an uproaring start. The first week of 2021 Nano, I feel like I was on a roll. I think I did like, I want to say 30,000 in the first week. There's no way. There's no way. I don't know, that's what I want to say, but there's no way. I don't know. But I was on a really good roll. I got a lot done within just the first week of Nano. And then I got extremely tired. Keeping in mind, I was working 50 to 60 hour work weeks. So I didn't have ample time. Not to mention the job I had tore me up physically, mentally, and emotionally. So what energy did I have to commit to my novel? Okay, that's a whole other sore subject. If you hear something, that's Parzival. He has his bone right here. So the first week went well. And then I got extremely tired, and I stopped writing for a few days. At least I told myself it was only going to be a few days, but then a few days became a week, and then the next week started to carry on, and I was like, I need to keep going. I would force myself to sit down here and there, and I still kept going. And then we got into the final week of November. Keep in mind as well that there is a holiday here in America that's celebrated in the third week of November. And that's actually one of my favorite holidays as well. It's completely centered around food, so I have nothing to complain about. So holidays can kind of take a lot out of you too. I'm not trying to make excuses. This is actually the stuff that happened. Whenever I went to visit family and stuff like that, it took away more of my energy that I wasn't able to commit to my novel. So we were rolling up on the last week of November, and I still had a good 10,000 words to go. But I was in the final stretch, so I pushed myself. Every single night that week I wrote, and I still was struggling to get to the end. Had about 3 days left of Nano, and I started to panic because I didn't think I was gonna meet the 50,000 word threshold. I really thought that I was gonna be able to reach it easy with this fanfiction, but it was looking rough there towards the end. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna finish it, and if I need to add words somewhere, I'll go back and I'll add words. But right now, I need to keep going. The last day of Nano, my novel still wasn't done, and I still haven't reached 50,000 words. I told myself I have until midnight tonight. And I got home from work, I sat down right here, and I wrote. I think I was off work at like 4 p.m., and I think I called the fanfiction complete at 9 p.m. That's how long I was writing. So, I took my word count for the chapter I was working on because it was on a separate document. I didn't have the full 50,000 in one place. But it was on a separate document. I took the word count from that chapter and plugged it into Nano, and it added up to 50,500 words. I was over the threshold, and I finally completed NaNoWriMo. So, that was last year, and it broke me. It broke me big time. So you'd think I wouldn't want to do it again. But here I am. I'm going to do it again. NaNoWriMo is actually a really fun challenge for me because it pushes me to commit to it because of my ADHD. If I have someone or something that is expecting me to do a thing, I'm going to do it. At least that's how my brain works. Maybe it's not my ADHD, but it's easier just to blame the ADHD. So this year, I'm actually going to write something completely original. I'm working on an outline, and it is currently the 20th of October. And so I need to finish that outline, otherwise Nano's not gonna happen. But yeah, so that's the plan. I'm gonna be doing Nano again this year. I'm going to be writing something completely original. It's very much going to be inspired by Fatal Frame, so it's going to be very folklore heavy, kind of thriller, horror vibes. I drew one of the main characters a little while ago, and that was fun. But, plans if I do finish this. Plans when I do finish this. I am going to go through and I'm going to probably revise it a few times, but maybe I'll self-publish this one. I think it would be a really good idea just to get a little small book out there and see how everyone else feels about my writing since Wattpad's not gonna let me. So we'll see. I'm excited to get back into Nano, but I'm also excited to see what else the future has in store. So, you guys stay tuned. Streaming in November might be a little bit rough because I'm going to be tired from working on my novel. I might wait until after Nano is complete to play Siberia World before, just to save me that headache, and then in December, we'll start it back up again because art streams are so chill, so I get to do whatever the heck I want at the same time. Like, I'm not exerting a whole lot of energy because Siberia is an extremely frustrating game, as you guys have already begun to see. And keep in mind, we're only 3 parts in on YouTube into Siberia 3. It gets so much worse, and then it starts to get better again. I mean, I'm finishing the game, that's saying something. There are 3 episodes that I said this is the last episode, but I wanted to give it a fighting chance. And I hate myself for doing it. The game's not fun, but I'm finishing it at the very least. So there you have it. I am packing my schedule full with all my creativity. I am actually a very artistic and creative person, but Bradley puts it in the best words. I am the least creative person out there. I need a source material, which is why I typically work off of fan fiction or fan art, and I always need a reference photo to do anything art related. So, yeah, that's actually the best way to describe me. I am the least creative person. So yeah, wanted to update you guys on that. I am going to have a rough month ahead of me, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy the ride with me. I am gonna go because I have an appointment in 3 hours. I need to make breakfast and I severely need coffee. Bye, guys.